Well, hello, everybody. First of all, I am so happy to see faces and names of people I know, and happy to meet Teresa and Sharon that I haven't met yet. I joined the UU Church in DeLand in March 2003, March 16th. And then I was one of the original charter members with Mosaic. And my heart has always been part UU and part Unity. And I say they just go hand in hand so beautifully. So I am Debra Pardee, Dr. Rusty. I'm an acupuncture physician licensed by the state of Florida. I am board certified by the NCCAOM, which is a national board certification program. I also incorporate homeopathy, herbology, and nutrition, lifestyle counseling in my practice. I've been in practice for 24 and a half years. I've written 2 books. I stay very busy with it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, the disclaimer is you don't have to believe anything I say, and you don't have to do anything I say. You definitely want to follow your primary healthcare provider or whoever you listen to. You want to listen to them. If I say drink 8 glasses of water and they told you to drink 2, you do what they say. You are not my patient. I am giving out pretty much general information, but everybody's different. We don't have to do the breathing part because we already did that. So what I thought I would start with, when COVID happened, we learned how to clean our plastic bags and how to, wipe off our food and, all the stuff that we just had never done before, but we learned how to do it and we did it. A few months in, I realized they weren't telling us how to be healthy, just how to take care of sickness. And I decided, since I knew, and that's what I did every day, I would start telling people, suggesting, guiding in ways that we could keep ourselves healthy. We want to get healthy, stay healthy, and be healthy forever. We also, I think, saw during that time that we have the responsibility of our health. Nobody got us healthy. Nobody gets us healthy. And I don't like to sound negative, but I believe that we're told constantly every day how to be unhealthy. And I'm not going to go into why the reasons behind that. I have my own theories, but I'm not going to do that today because I really want people to get healthy, be healthy, and stay healthy. And we can. One of the most important things to do is sleep. Adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. Kids need 10 to 12 hours of sleep a day. The best time to fall asleep is between 10 to midnight. After that, cortisol is being released, and a lot of your body repairs are done when you sleep. The brain washes out toxins. Your brain filters out all the bad stuff. Your short-term memory shifts into long-term memory. That's why when you wake up, you don't have to learn how to tie your shoes again. Really, we had no idea that our brain was doing that. Now, if you're having trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, one thing you want to do is be sure your brain is getting stimulation during the day. And I'm not talking about TV. I know, a little bit of TV, I get it, but I'm just, hey, we all binged. I binged on Dallas a few times during COVID. So you want to do something, cleaning house repairs, playing games. Judy's making faces. Gardening, jigsaw puzzles, getting together. I'll find something Judy likes. Playing with your pets. But you need to get your brain moving. Writing a book, interviewing somebody a relative, and writing their story. That would be a wonderful thing in all different ways. Learning something new is very, very important. Sleep helps with losing weight and maintaining weight. It works with glucose metabolism. Sleep will help. Loss has shown to help with decreased insulin management. So if you're diabetic, you really need to have your sleep. It helps with keeping levels of leptin, which is a hormone, stable in your body. Leptin controls your hunger and your cravings. So if you have trouble with your appetite, you want to make sure you're sleeping. If you wake up between 2 and 3 in the morning, that is usually a time there's a whole chemical thing going on in your body, which ends up with epinephrine kicking in, and you wake up and you go, yay, I'm ready to start my day, but you're not really. Best thing to do is eat a protein snack an hour before bed. Now that can be 14 nuts, 1 hard-boiled egg, piece of cheese, piece of meat. If you drink milk, milk. My mom, 92 and a half, she still drinks milk, and that'll work. It stabilizes the blood sugar. You want to avoid caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine after lunch if you have trouble sleeping. Actually, caffeine can keep your brain awake for 10 hours afterwards. And I had a lot of patients over the years that have told me that. And some say I can drink coffee at night. If you watch old movies, they're always having coffee after dessert, but they're also smoking too. And most of those people in those movies are dead. So alcohol is a stimulant. It can make you drowsy, but after a while, it will wake you up. You don't want to have more than 2 glasses of alcohol a day. It actually kills brain cells. So if I have a glass of wine, I sit there and I go, how many brain cells can I afford to lose today? And before I'll drink that. And you want to not drink alcohol. Well, okay, all right, this is the fun part. If you drink wine or something or alcohol, drink it at dinner, because you want to not drink alcohol 3 hours before bed. So you don't want to be drinking at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock like that. Another fun thing about wine, if you're eating beef, if you have wine with it, it helps break down the fats. All right, your bedroom. You definitely want your bedroom to be cool and dark. You can take your clock and turn it around. I actually got rid of my clock, and it's amazing how much better. If I want to know what time it is when I wake up in the middle of the night, I click on my phone and it will tell me in nice big numbers, and I keep the phone as far away as possible. If you don't have to have your phone on during the night, if you're not responsible for another human being, that's a good thing. Reading a book before you go to bed, listening to soft music, take a warm bath or a shower. Avoid stressful situations. Don't watch the news. Just don't watch the news. If there's something you need to know, after 9 o'clock at night, someone will tell you. Get sunshine every day. Get outside before 10 a.m. and after 4 p.m. We have this gland here, the pineal gland, and that gland tells you if it's time to go to bed or if it's time to wake up. But it has to have the sunlight, and you want sunlight without your glasses on. All right, so take your pet out, if you can, sit outside and get some sun. It goes through the eyes. I know. And I'm not lying to you, Judy. I'm telling you the truth. I've done my research. If you take a nap, you want to wake up by 4 p.m. Yep. Eat a light dinner. Big breakfast, medium lunch, light dinner. Don't drink a lot of water or drinks in the evening, because people wake up because they have to tinkle a lot. If you exercise, you want to stop exercising 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay. If you still have trouble, remember acupuncture works for sleeping. That's a big thing that we've had to treat the last 3 years. Try to keep the same rhythm. I had a patient, and we've been treating him for insomnia, and he told me that he worries so much about it because if he only gets 6 hours, he feels like he has to make up the 7 to 9 hours the next night and then the next night. So at the end of the week, he's trying to make up like 7 hours of sleep. And I went, wait a second. I said, it doesn't work that way. And this man, he's in his 40s, actually thought that if you didn't get the right amount of sleep, you had to make it up within that week. Okay, that would be nice, but that is not how it is. If you only get 6 hours, just quit worrying about it. You're not going to make it up the next night or the next night. Just follow the instructions that I had before. Keep a schedule. Try to see what's going on when you have trouble with sleep. Think about what happened during the day. Your brain is a very delicate and a very strong organ, very strong, but it likes routine. There's something called circadian rhythm when we get up and when we go to sleep. People with insomnia, we advise them to Keep the same schedule on the weekend. Don't stay up till 2, 3 in the morning and sleep until 10 or 11, because that just throws everything off, right? There's a hormone called melatonin, and every now and then in the news, you'll hear it's good and then you'll hear it's bad. Melatonin is something that the older you get, the less you have. Teenagers have a lot of melatonin, which is why teenagers like to go to bed at 2 in the morning and sleep all day long. Having teenagers go to school at 7 in the morning is totally counterproductive. But most teachers are not teenagers, so it's not going to work. Okay. We make the kids learn to stick to our schedule. Okay. Did you ever walk into a room and go, why did I come in here? Yeah, we all have. I have teenagers who work for me, and I happen to see them doing that. And that's a little alarming. That shouldn't be happening as a teenager. That's called an event boundary. It's an actual chemical thing going into your brain. Your brain's separating one thought through the other, and walking through the door changes it. Your brain's going, oh, done with that job. Now we got a new job. If you turn around and walk back through the door, that file cabinet you have in your head is going to go, oh, wait a second. We had to, go get the laundry. And you walk back in the bedroom and you get the laundry. Laughter. And Judy, I did not see what time I started or what time I'm supposed to end. So you're going to have to give me the high sign. Okay. Laughter. Okay. Laughter is the best medicine. Now, if you want to find some jokes, go Google jokes, clean jokes, adult jokes, whatever you want, kid jokes. I like to giggle and Google kid jokes. Human beings were actually designed genetically to laugh. Okay. Your dog laughs. Your dog has a sense of humor because your dog lets you know. Your cat has a sense of humor, but they don't let you know. Okay. And anybody who has a cat has known that. The research says that's not true, but if you've had a cat, they have a sense of humor. They're just not going to let you know. Laughter is the social glue for people. And that was such a big problem during COVID because we were so isolated. Laughter releases chemicals in the brain that makes your blood flow better, releases the feel-good chemicals. It involves your face muscles. You use less face muscles to smile than you do to frown. It'll help keep you looking younger longer. Kids laugh about 300 times a day. Adults maybe 17 times a day. Did you hear about the priest, the minister, and the rabbit that walked into the blood bank? And the rabbit turned around and said, I think I'm a typo. Okay, I'm supposed to hear laughter. I don't hear laughter. Okay. I know it looks better in print. Yes, okay. And how come the person who snores the loudest always falls asleep first? Right? Okay. Laughter also keeps our blood pressure lower. It builds the immune system. It relaxes muscles. It helps with pain, and it increases your brain function. It helps with every single muscle in the body. So when you have pain or when you're having terrible things happening in your life, and we all have, you want to be laughing. And prove me wrong. Go ahead. Just go laugh at something and prove me wrong. I don't care. I had, like everybody else on the planet, I've had a bad week every now and then. And I found out on Amazon Prime, they have I Love Lucy, they have Will and Grace, they have Mad About You, they have Dharma and Greg. And I am watching those. I will binge, and I actually laugh, and it lightens my mood. So laughter is very, very important. If you can only take 10 minutes a day to laugh, try. In 2016, there was a Japanese study, and it showed that people with heart disease rarely laughed. People with strokes rarely laugh. Okay. Every 36 seconds in America, someone dies of heart disease. That came from the CDC this week. And 6 million people right now in America have Alzheimer's disease. Laughter has no negative effects, and it's free. Okay? So you want to laugh. Okay, exercise. I don't like calling it exercise because I don't like exercise. I don't like to go to the gym. I have a rowing machine in my house and I walk, 3 or plus miles a day. I enjoy that. I love to dance. I'm a belly dancer. I like to take some Zumba classes like that. I'm fortunate we have that in my neighborhood. I like seeing people get out and move. I love seeing people walk around. I love seeing people ride their bikes and people walking their dogs. When we've had the hurricane that we didn't get a couple years ago, for 5 days, I walked in the rain and wind 5 miles a day just because I couldn't be in the house any longer. I figured there's no excuse. It almost blew me away, but I said, come on, I got to do it. I've got to get out there and walk. When we walk, we release, or when we do any kind of movement, we can be releasing feel-good chemicals in the brain. That's why people get that runner's high. That's why when people start playing pickleball, they don't stop, and they are fanatic. You can walk in your house. I can walk a mile in my house. And I don't know if any of you remember, you might not, Dave, the dog, my big black standard poodle. When the weather's bad, I would walk in the house and Dave walked with me the whole mile. And sometimes I'd about follow him because I'm a very small house, but he would walk right next to me without a leash on through the house. Walmart and Lowe's do not mind if you walk through them. You can walk a mile up and down each aisle in those stores. It may cost you $300 to leave, but just try to show some restraint. In fact, a friend of mine, Cheryl Floyd, you know her, the storyteller. Yeah, she said to me one day, she goes, Rusty, I just can't afford to walk with you anymore because we kept buying things. So, but if you have restraint, you can do it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Did you know that once you get the frosting off a cupcake, it becomes a muffin, and muffins are healthy? No, that's another joke. I don't know. The joke thing's not working. I can't see faces and I can't hear. Okay. All right. Cheryl told me never tell people I'm funny because you can have a day when you're just so not funny. All right. So, okay. Prayer and meditation. An interesting thing about the COVID episode, I still haven't figured out what I want to call it, where we had church on Zoom. Everybody had church on Zoom. And I talked to a bunch of patients who said that they decided they would try different churches on Zoom, go to a different church. And I'm thinking that would be fun. And I did do that. That would be so much fun and you don't have to do it Sunday at 11 because you don't want to miss your church time, your community time, even on Zoom. But after that, just for fun, you go look at your church in whatever, pick a city in the United States, whatever, different churches, try a different church each week, just for that, knowing that we are all together, we are all humans in this space, when loving and respecting and accepting everybody's religion and beliefs. It's fun. It's fun. I loved it. Meditation is a form of prayer. You all know that. I don't even have to go into that with y'all because you know that. You're so good at that. Try to do it first thing in the morning and last thing at night. And one of the slides were gorgeous. And the music, I'm going to send her a big thank you. That was perfect. But
Jane Bradford, that was all to Jane Bradford. She is a genius at it.
It was incredible. It was incredible. And so waking up first thing in the morning and doing your prayer meditation and doing it last. I have something called on my phone, Insight Timer. It costs like $5 a month. They do even have a free version of it. They have something like 200,000 different meditations. Any type of belief system that you want is on there. And they're from like a minute long to hours long. And you get to pick what you want. Insight Timer. So I listen to that first thing in the morning and I listen to it at night, and I'll do it again through the day. I can do meditative walking. I can do meditative gardening. Just keeping that center will help you focus and keep yourself together. During COVID, anxiety and depression rose 33% according to the AMA. I used to have women say they were sending their husband for his shoulder problem or whatever, and they would say he's having panic attacks or he's depressed or having anxiety, but don't say anything to him about it. And I was like, okay, got it, no problem. During and after COVID, the man comes in and says, I'm having anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. They are admitting it. And you can tell by the drug commercials, there's a lot more drugs out there for that. Okay, let's try to stop that. Let's do the prevention thing and let's try to stop that. And everything I'm telling you today works at the physical and the emotional aspect. Keep connected with family and friends. That's why Zoom church is wonderful. Zoom classes, Zoom meetings, all of that. Calling, texting. I love texting because you can send somebody a very peaceful, loving thought and, it's done. You don't, go on, do more. I'll have a day where I'll go through everybody on my phone, all 207 of them, and just send a nice little, thinking of you, keep smiling, that sort of thing. Are we going to have some post-traumatic stress disorder because of COVID? Yes, I'm seeing it already. Okay. What you choose to think or feel affects your cells. We're made up of billions of cells. They're either dying or developing constantly. New cells are being made. When you get acupuncture, acupuncture makes those cells at that 24-hour period healthier cells. So keep that in mind, okay? You can change how you feel in just seconds. And when you change how you feel and think, you're changing the health of those cells being made at that time. That's why laughter is so good. Getting out in the sun, looking at the color yellow. And Jan, thank you for remembering that I said that 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago, either January or February before COVID. And it's true. When you look at the color yellow, your brain thinks it's the sun. And when you look at the sun or you're in the sun, those feel-good chemicals are released and you feel happier. Wearing yellow shirts or having a bowl of yellow fruit or even, fake yellow flowers. I have a lot of little yellow pads around my house. My bedroom's yellow. Just think, when I give gifts to somebody, I usually give them yellow towels. There you go, Judy. Yeah. I don't care if they like yellow or not, or they may never use the towels, but when they're in the back of their closet and they open it and they see that, their brain's going, oh yeah, there's the sun. So anything yellow is important. An interesting thing. Okay, Judy and Alyssa and Jan, and I don't know about Sharon or Shannon. We remember when we were 21, we were adults, right? Okay. We were. About 10 years ago, National Geographic had an incredible article how they found out that the adult brain really isn't formed to age 25. And if you looked around kids that are that are about 40 now, 45, they didn't mature, most of them, as quickly as we did. Okay, and we thought that was just our head thinking that, but no, it was actually true. Studies are coming out now that it's almost 30. Yeah, that they don't have that part of their brain that understands responsibility, understands consequences till they're almost 30. So if you feel like you have to tell your kids what to do, go ahead. They probably aren't going to listen to you because, we never did, but they still need your advice. They'll know sometime when they're about 35 that, yeah, you knew what you're talking about. Okay, if you have anxiety or depression, diet can actually change that. And I'm going to talk about food in just a minute. But you want to keep a high protein diet. And I thought this was funny. I looked up foods that help with depression. And it was oysters, bluefish, snapper, salmon, herring, crab, tuna, caviar, and escargot, oysters, and liver. Now, how many times a week do you eat those things? Oysters, bluefish, snapper, salmon, herring, crab, tuna, caviar, escargot, oysters, and liver. I know. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. One good way would be to get a fish oil capsule. Essential fatty acids. They're called essential because your brain has to have those ingredients that are in those foods, in the fish. But then you got to be careful about fish. You want to have wild caught. Yeah. All right. Vegetables that work really good with emotions are watercress, spinach, Swiss chard, mustard, turnip greens, peppers, parsley, and kale. Basically, the really dark green vegetables, the ones that people usually don't eat. All right. So if you're depressed and everything I just said, you're like, I'm not going to eat that stuff. I go, well, okay, I told you. Under my responsibility. Okay. All right. Another fun thing to help with the emotions, depression, anxiety, or sadness, anything like that, is move things around your house. Now, I know, and if you live with somebody, this can be a lot of fun. Yeah, when it's time to sit down at dinner, switch places. Don't say anything, just switch places. The silverware drawer, okay? Switch the places of the silverware in the drawer. If you had the knives on the left, put them on the right. This is called creating new neural pathways in your brain. It actually makes the brain work better, become more plastic, which is what we want, not plastic, plastic, but that's a term to keep it fluid, to keep everything fluid. Reorganize your fridge in a different way. If you have the eggs on the top left shelf, put them on the top right shelf. Your clothes, organize your clothes, put the shirts all in colors. Don't get too OCD and have the hangers match the color of the shirts. Okay, I did that once a long time ago, and it was fun, but it was really hard to keep it up, but it was fun. You want to keep the brain active. That's why I'm going back to puzzles, crossword puzzles, games, playing sequence, anything, getting together and playing games with people is very important. Do you all meet at all? Do you have any get-togethers, Judy?
Yeah, we go to Gemini Springs every month. Usually the third Saturday. I'm not swearing by it, but it turns out to be about then. And we do something. We do something together that has to do with you, and then we it's a social time. You bring your own everything.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, we do
Okay,
that.
that's important.
Yeah.
Do you ever meet anybody's house and play games or anything?
Some of the folks do like Dungeons and Dragons. And,
Okay.
that's and it's not like we can't do those things. We can do. We've always been able to do those things.
Okay, good. All right.
Lately
playing board games together is really good. If you can get together, have a meal and play board games are important for the head. Monopoly, sequence, dominoes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Good. When COVID happened, and all of a sudden the stores were empty with things, and you couldn't go out to eat, which was quite incredible. People started getting back to their cookbooks, right? Which I thought was a lot of okay, Judy.
I'm shutting myself up.
Okay, all right. And my patients, we had contact. We definitely have contact. I put together a food plan that I knew was healthy. First thing, and again, don't do what I say if your primary healthcare provider says don't do this, is reduce sugar and grains. Grains and sugar cause inflammation. They really, really do. I've proved it to myself. Okay, Lauren Griffin, y'all remember Lauren Griffin, or probably most of you. Okay. All right, so this is how long ago it was. Lauren and I got together and we put together a program to teach people how to eliminate grains from their diet based on the book by Dr. Perlmutter, Grain Brain. And if you eat grains, chemicals are sent out to cause inflammation in your joints. I had to prove it. Lauren and I both proved it to ourselves. And it was also a 20-pound weight loss in 6 weeks if you eliminated all grains. My hands used to hurt so bad, but I would insert about 700 needles a day and take them out. At the end of the day, they would just be on fire. I noticed at the end of 6 weeks, there was no more pain. So I decided I wanted to stick with this, and I did. Every now and then I go off and I eat grains. If I eat 1 serving of grain 3 days in a row, the 4th day I wake up and I have pain in my hands and my knees. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm about to do it tomorrow because I'm going on a cruise and I know I'm going to eat some grains, but when I get home by Friday, I'm going to go, what did I do? And then I will stop doing it. Vegetables. All right, I talked about all the dark green vegetables that were really good for salads. Arugula and watercress are a great base for salads. A serving, if you can, well, look at your own hand. That's a serving of vegetables. You want to have servings, 7 servings a day of vegetables. It's really not a lot. It isn't, but it helps you. You get a lot of minerals from it. Most of the vitamins are killed by the time you get them, but there still are minerals in there. You want 2 to 3 servings of low glycemic index fruits a day. 12 cherries a day will help with pain. 1 small apple, a few slices of melon, a peach, a plum, a kiwi, a small pear. Those are all low in sugar fruits. 6 servings of protein a day, 2 eggs, 2 chicken thighs, 14 nuts, half a cup of beans. Beans are really good. A cup of quinoa, 3 ounces of fish, chicken, or beef. That's like a chicken leg or chicken thigh. That's 3 ounces. You want to have 3 servings of good fats such as butter, coconut, olive oil, and avocados. You want to try no grains at all. Try it for at least 3 weeks, but you can have a cup of rice at the end of the 3 weeks and oatmeal, maybe a couple times a day. This is going to help your body set and prevent and work with diabetes. Also the inflammation. Quinoa, I think you all pretty much familiar with quinoa, Q-U-I-N-O-A. It looks like a grain. It's not, it's a seed. It's easy to cook and it's easy to make either dessert or savory or just by itself. Water, 6 to 8 ounces a day. Coconut water is great. It's very revitalizing because it puts the electrolytes back in your body. When you drink a lot of water, which everybody says they do, you're also peeing out a lot of water and it's causing you're losing electrolytes. You're losing good minerals in the body. That causes leg cramps. It causes dizziness, brain fogness. You'll find people that in their 80s and 90s that get dehydrated, their brain starts going, they get confused, and they can even get dementia. Eating cooked food is better than raw food, and that's hard to tell people in Florida, but raw and cold, it's harder for your stomach to cook it and to digest it and to use the nutrients. So you want to limit that. And again, that's hard. I don't do that 100% myself either, but I do make sure I get a lot of cooked vegetables. Salad dressings, don't buy the crap that's in the stores. Learn to make your own. Plan your meals. Plan your meals. That's more fun to do that than to just, especially if you work or even if you don't work. Plan your meals out. Get some cookbooks out. Come up with some new menus. Make a shopping list. Have fun with it. This is so important. What we eat and don't eat helps get us healthy and stays healthy and keeps us healthy. And like I said, we've got to do it because nobody's else going to do it. I hope and pray there's never going to be another epidemic like we had or pandemic. And we can avoid it if we stay healthy. All right. I practice what I preach. I did not get it. I stayed healthy. I haven't been sick in so many decades. I can't even remember the last time. So this is what I try to get my patients to understand. Acupuncture is great. It builds up healthy cells. Even if you come like maybe 4 times a year for a treatment, patients that came to me once a month, 99% of them did not get COVID, whether they were vaccinated or not. Not one of my patients that died that came to me once a month. My patients that came to me once a month for whatever time, they did not die from COVID. Okay. I saw that. Healthy people, we made it through. Half of my practice is post-COVID right now. So if you know anybody's having problems with COVID, we know what to do. Worldwide, they say acupuncture is the best way to help post-COVID. And I've seen some of the weirdest things. It's attacked not only the heart and the lungs, but it's the nervous system. And it's a little scary. Okay, but I'm here to help. Just try to eat better, get more vegetables, move around, make sure you're sleeping. Laugh, 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 laugh. Love your furry animals. Love each other. Keep community going. Give, just give. Keep a positive attitude. It makes a difference. And I want to thank you all so much. You know I'm available. It's easy to find me, but not this week. But I'm here for you. Okay. And again, so nice to see so many people. Yay. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Amen.